Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another broadcast of the Weekly with me, Neff. Please subscribe to the channel and share this video with a couple of friends and colleagues. Definitely helps us out a lot. We appreciate your support. New subscribers, welcome to the channel. Also, older subscribers, thank you for continuing to support the content and helping spread the word to help grow the community. Would you like to see a prequel to Sinners? I think it'd be interesting. Let's read into it. Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan split on idea of a Smoke and Stack prequel. With the massive critical and box office success pouring in for Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan's Sinners, would the pair ever reteam for a prequel? As Ryan Coogler's Sinners continues its impressive reign at the box office, getting #1 once again, we talked about that last night, defying initial projections and captivating audiences, the inevitable question of franchise potential has begun to circulate. Recently, director Ryan Coogler and star Michael B. Jordan were directly asked about the possibility of a Sinners prequel, specifically one exploring the backstory of their characters Smoke and Stack during their time working for the notorious Chicago gangster Al Capone. So basically a Chicago era, mob era Al Capone Sinners film, which just follows what Smoke and Stack were doing before the events of the film that you actually seen on screen. I think it's a pretty cool idea, to be honest. And on top of that, I wouldn't actually be opposed to a sequel, and I thought I might have talked about that in another video regarding Sinners. Now, the reason I'm not opposed to a sequel is because you can actually do a lot with Mary and Stack's characters after they get turned into vampires, actually showing the eras after the 30s and the events of what happened at the juke joint in Mississippi. And then too, obviously you do have Sammy. He's older in the 90s. When you end up seeing these characters again, you have 60 years of information that you could actually lock in with and do a bunch of different films regarding their journey together. I would like to see Mary and Stack in the 50s or even the 60s and 70s. I think there's a lot you could do with those ideas. But then again, I can understand if Ryan Coogler doesn't want to do what they do with all franchises, turn the IP into a big franchise and then milk it to death. So we'll see what happens there. But I think a prequel and sequel could happen, and it could be done in high quality with good story. Jordan expressed an enthusiastic openness to the idea, stating, "I'm always up for it," not saying he wouldn't, pointing to Coogler, but I'm just saying I would be up for it. When pressed for further comments, Jordan deferred to the director, adding he calls the shots, with a nod towards Coogler. Coogler's response was more nuanced, playfully deflecting the shot caller label with a call out to his wife, Zinzi Coogler. For those unfamiliar, Zinzi Coogler is highly experienced in the world of film, boasting nearly 2 decades in the industry as an ASL sign language interpreter and more recently a producer. Together, following their successes with Creed and Black Panther, the Cooglers co-founded their production company Proximity Media in 2018 alongside Sev Ohanian, Ludwig Göransson, Archie Davis, and Peter Nix. Addressing the broader appeal for more stories with the Sinners universe, Coogler explained, "For me, my favorite movies, it feels like a world was happening before and a world is going to happen after, so that's the best compliment someone can say." Jordan echoed this sentiment, adding that you care about the characters and want to see what happens to them, and I have to agree with that sentiment as well, which is why I brought up the potential for a sequel, and I'm open to a prequel showing that mob era in Chicago. I think that'd be very interesting. I don't know if they're gonna have to drop that vampire element, though. That might not be an element in this one, but you could still make a riveting story, and it'd be a solid film, a mob film with 2 main black characters. That's something we really haven't seen before. That would be in itself something extremely unique, and also I believe it would be a first to see something like that on screen. We're talking the Chicago mob, the Chicago outfit, so it's a cool idea for sure. Touted as the first must-see film of 2025, Sinners continues to exceed expectations, with its final box office total still difficult to pin down as it defies traditional trends. Some industry analysis project a finish north of $200 million, while others believe Sinners could ultimately close out with over $270 million worldwide, which would give it that 3x hit metric for Warner Brothers, and it would deem it as a success in theaters. And although, you know, it might not hit that 270, even if it does hit 270, which I think it is possible, I think creatively, just from what you've seen from the critics and the audiences alike, this film is basically already a success. It's done better than what people expected. So very good job for Sinners. Talked about this movie a lot, but yeah, we'll keep our eyes on developments on this. Obviously, Ryan Coogler is working on X-Files. I just talked about that recently, so go watch that video as well. But if there are any new developments, we will speak on it. Ladies and gents, please subscribe to the channel. Share this video with a couple of friends and colleagues. Comment down below what you think about a potential prequel or sequel to Sinners. Want to know what everybody thinks about that? Like this video and also ring the bell for notifications. Be safe. It's Neff signing off.